Wow. This is impressive. Well, she said, my name is Timothy Elkin, and I'm from Asheville, North Carolina. And I'm 24 years old. As I stand here today, and I look out into this crowd of proud patriots that have taken time out of their lives to stand here today in not only support of Dr. Greg Brannon, but in support of constitutional principles and support of liberty. It truly gives me hope as a young person that we will be able to take our country back. People will come up to me and they'll say, "Hey Tim, what is it about this Dr. Greg Brannon? What exactly about him that makes young people so fired up, so attracted to this guy? What is it?" And I tell them, it's simple. He speaks the truth. He stands on constitutional principles and he fights to get government out of our lives. We have a federal government today that wants to be in all aspects of our life. The federal government is almost like that overprotective parent that's always looking over your back, that's always checking on everything that you're doing. And I don't know about you guys, but as a young person, I don't want that. We have a federal government that forces us to buy Obamacare. They expect young people that are not at a financially stable point in their life, they expect us to subsidize the old and the sick. That is insane. How in the world do they think it's going to work when they have also made in the law where if you are up until the age of 26, you can be on your parents' insurance? How is that supposed to work? What are these bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. thinking? Are they crazy?
Yes.
We have a federal government that wants to monitor everything that we do. They want to monitor our social media. They want to monitor our emails and our cell phones. Young people love that stuff. We don't want somebody monitoring us. And that is why youth back Brannon, because we know that Dr. Brannon is going to fight to get the government out of our lives. He is the only candidate in this race that has a strong position on the NSA, on monetary policy. He is the only one that is qualified to be able to send to D.C. Youth support guys like Dr. Greg Brannon. They support guys like Senator Rand Paul. They support Ted Cruz. They support Mike Lee. And why is that? It's because they stand on principle and they tell the federal government no. Who else but young people want somebody to stand up to authoritarian figures? Who else? You have guys like Ted Cruz that stood up and filibustered Obamacare. You have Rand Paul who stood up and filibustered about drones, about could Americans be droned in the United States. We need people like that. We need people that will stand on principle, that will stand stand up and fight for me and you. People are inspired by that. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the Greg Brannons, the Rand Pauls, the Ron Pauls. I wouldn't be here today. And that is why youth back Brannon. And that is why I back Brannon. And that is why that is why we are going to get Dr. Greg Brannon elected May 6th, and then he is going to go on and beat Kay Hagan in November. Thank you. But now, I have the distinct honor of introducing a man who was standing up for human freedom long since I was born. The Woolworth sit-ins of 1960 in Greensboro was a historical turning point in North Carolina's civil rights history. Young people who were brave enough to stand for the truth bucked the status quo, challenged oppression, and became beacons of hope for liberty. I am deeply honored to introduce one of those men here to you today. Please give a warm welcome for Mr. Clarence Henderson.